programming best is going to serve those of us here at Unity in Marin, both in the larger community and here in person. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Rev DeeAnn Weirmorency. I'm the associate minister here, and it is my joy to be able to take time in the middle of the week to be able to get centered and anchored, to rejuvenate and to renew ourselves. So the structure for this particular third Wednesday of every month will eventually evolve into a discussion, a question and answer discussion group. For tonight, we're just going to do a centering, anchoring meditation practice. So the invitation right now is to just allow yourself to let go of whatever the activity of the day has already been. I'm going to play some music. We're going to allow ourselves to drop in and to get still. And then we will sit in silence for another 10 minutes or so, and then I will play another song to help bring us back into time and space. So altogether, we'll be sitting for about 20 minutes. So the invitation right now is to allow yourself to get settled and to get still, to allow the music, both the entry and the exit music and this time of stillness, to really be an opportunity to center into the truth of who you are, of who we each are. So let's take a breath together, shall we? As we allow this music to guide us in to the space that is at the very root of our being. So breathing together and resting together and choosing to quiet together.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace.
Allowing your breath
in
to
the
still.
stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love.
Let's rest in the silence together. So welcome back, everyone. What I wanted to open up tonight was this idea between, I call it minding the gap, the space between where we know, what we know, and then how it actually shows up in our life, how we actually live it. And there are times in my life where it feels like just a hop, skip, and a jump. This tiny little, just jump right over, and I'm feeling aligned, and I'm feeling in synchronicity with myself and with the world. And then there are other times where it literally feels like the Grand Canyon between what it is that I know and what it is that I'm actually living and experiencing and feeling. And how we navigate that always moving, ever-changing gap between what it is that we understand about truth and how we're actually living into it is, for me, actually the whole point. Like that space that is the gap, that feels like a gap, is actually where I know that I have the most growth, the most potential, the most awareness, the most capacity, and that as I engage in spiritual practice to help me navigate that gap, that's how I am growing and evolving and becoming a larger human. So the gap is something that when I'm in the midst of it, I certainly am not enjoying myself. And yet, with time, I have come to appreciate and approach those experiences with deep gratitude and a deep, deep, deep humility. And I don't know about where everyone else is right now, but I know that for myself, that as I have been sitting with really trying to be fully present with what is alive and what is happening in the world, and how painful that is, how deeply and profoundly painful that is, that I watch myself desiring to move out of that uncomfortableness and to move into a different space. And when that happens, the gap seems to actually get even bigger, because in doing so, I am having to shut myself off or close myself down from something that is very present and alive in the right here and the right now. It's not the right here and right now in the truth of what we know, but it is something that my human self is experiencing. And so this idea for these Wednesday night gatherings are that it's a place for us to discuss how we actually put these principles into practice. And where are we running headlong off the edge and into the gap? And where are we actually feeling a sense of peace and contentment? And what are the tools that we are activating? So the idea behind this Wednesday night is that it isn't my sitting here and pontificating outward, but that it's about my throwing out an idea, something that I personally might be wrestling with, and that as a community we come together and we just discuss and see what's alive for us. I'm a great believer in the medicine that is present when we are all together. So knowing that this is the first Wednesday and that we are building this up within our community. So if you're watching this on the live stream, at the moment we don't have a ready way for you to be able to actually interact in real time. And we are looking into options so that might be possible. We might move this whole thing to Zoom so that there's a way for there to be actual interaction. But regardless of what the future might hold for us in that regard, the invitation is to sit with your own gap. What is it that you are on the precipice of, that you're not necessarily feeling extremely eager or enthusiastic to look over the edge? That perhaps because it makes you uncomfortable, or because it's a place where you just don't know? That's sometimes where I feel like I am. I just don't know. What do you do? How do you navigate that for yourself? What are the tools that you bring into practice? So we started with meditation because that for me is a grounding and a centering space. And with the week that I've had already, just being able to sit like that with others in consciousness and to truly still the mind, that is for me one of the foundational components of how I bridge that gap. that no matter what is going on in my life, when I come out the other end of that meditation, I feel more centered, and I feel more grounded, and I feel more aligned. But it doesn't have to just be the traditional spiritual practices. Maybe you spend time with your cats, or maybe you draw, or what is it that you do? Go for a run, go for a hike. What are the things that enable you to remember, even in the midst of our humanness, that we are divine beings and that love is all there is, and there truly is only one power and one presence? So I'm hopeful that in the future we will be able to grow this idea into an actual conversation that we might be able to have. I have one person in the room with me, and I'm not about to put her directly on the spot, but that this is something that I believe is incredibly powerful, and we have the capacity to be able to grow into that. So let's just take a breath together, shall we? And let's close with some prayer. This opportunity to sit is just so rich and so powerful, and knowing and seeing that this whole experience of how we come together as community is evolving and growing, and we stay open and receptive to how it is in service to each other and to the community. And so I bless all of it. I bless the gap. I bless the stillness. I bless the not knowing. And I bless our capacity to stand as the divinity that we are, with clarity, with intention, and with so much love. For that truly is the very essence of life itself: love, peace, harmony. So thank you for joining me today. I'll close with one final song that I think everybody will know, and just allow that to carry you through until the rest of your week, your evening.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Namaste, peace and blessings. I'll see everyone third Wednesday next month.